Folks, welcome to an all-new week. Oh my God, an all-new... That means there's probably another episode of The Valley this week. Something to look forward to. JK, as always, we are doing our pop culture roundup. We have her, the host of the insanely good Snark Bait, newly married, and she is in Cincinnati this weekend, so I want to give a warning to anybody on YouTube that makes any comment about either of our appearances. I will go... I was about to say I'll go nuclear, but that's not the term I want to use right now. So the one and only Sophie Ross, welcome back.
Wait, why would anyone say anything about your appearance or my appearance?
Well, because you said before that sometimes people say, and you, by the way, she's doing me a favor because we usually record these on Sunday. This is Saturday night for her and afternoon for me because I'm going on an influencer trip tomorrow. And so she is doing me a favor, but she doesn't have her equipment to light up the face.
Yeah, so I don't have my ring light. I don't have my mic. It's just,
Just lay off, everybody.
It's like, the old-fashioned days, just me and a laptop.
Hey, remember when it was just like listening to audio? That's what podcasts were?
Isn't that crazy? That's like what it was at first for us. That's why I always was like, I was like wearing like a tank top with like no bra and just like with my hair up, no makeup. I just like, and I would have like laundry in the background. And then you started just uploading them to YouTube one day. And I was like, what?
Jeez. Well, you know what I should do? I should make a clip. We've talked about this before. You know how Nick Viall on his guest, he makes it look like, it's like
going deeper.
Like, duh, Sophie came without makeup. Dun, dun, find out on the Pop Culture Roundup.
Going deeper with Sophie Ross Brooks.
Do you think, does Nick Viall, when he makes love to his wife, does he ever go like, I'm going deeper? Like,
honestly, probably.
We shouldn't start off like this is bad already. Okay, anyways.
I'm sorry, everyone.
Anyways, guys, what a week. And what a week in pop culture it has been. Obviously, hopefully this can give you a little reprieve from the world at large.
Wait, Ryan, pause really fast. I'm getting a little bit of like something tinny sound.
Hopefully we have that figured out. If not, I don't come at me for that as well, you guys. Sophie, how has your week been? Why are you in Cincinnati?
I'm visiting my Nana Jojo, my grandma. She is here, and it was just a good weekend. Also, some of my high school friends. It was just like a good weekend that a bunch of us were going to be in town, so it just made sense for us to get together. And it's been a heat wave, actually. It's been like 95 degrees all weekend.
Oh, gross. New York's really bad too right now, I hear.
Yeah, there's like a heat wave going on. So everyone remember to drink water. I did not drink enough water today. And then I started to feel a little bit dizzy when I like stood up. So it was it was like
you just
Paige
said you had
on Love Island.
Paige, well, we're going to talk about that, but you just said you had Dairy Queen.
Yeah, had DQ, you guys.
Wow.
So yeah, one of the staples in Cincinnati, as you guys probably know, is Skyline Chili. So we did that for dinner, which was amazing. Oh. And then I was really, really, really craving Dairy Queen. And there are very famous like ice cream places. Like there's like a Grater's in Cincinnati. Like that's like a famous ice cream chain. I'm like, no, I want DQ. I want a Blizzard. And it was like so out of the way for my friends to drive, but I made them drive anyway because I'm worth it.
Our lactose tolerant queen. But that's a lot for your body to process in like the chili and the DQ.
Look, I have a stomach of steel. It's something I pride myself on.
I feel like this is going to go bad at some point.
I know. Also, I say that after I just texted Ryan. I was like, I need 10 extra minutes. Dairy Queen's hitting me.
By the way, I was like, didn't you say something was happening with the DQ? Wait, has Cincinnati yet? Because I feel like this is coming if it hasn't yet. Have they done any newspaper articles on you like local girl makes good?
I mean, like they should.
They should. I mean, come on. And by the way, where's my Columbus, Ohio or Olathe, Kansas article about me? That's like where I grew up.
I know you are a local celebrity in those places.
In those places, yes.
In those places.
Legend in our own minds. Okay, so let's start with something this is a story that's actually not pop culture related, even though I think you're going to see this pop up more and more. And this is about artificial intelligence. And I think as I get older, one of the signs of getting older is that I now like weekly watch CBS Sunday mornings. Have you ever checked that out?
Can't say I have.
Okay, so that's because you're still young. Is that CBS Sunday Morning? It's like an hour and a half news show hosted by Jane Pauley, but it's like lifestyle. They'll throw some entertainment stories in there, and there's like 15 stories during an hour and a half. And they'll, I have like a cup of coffee, and I'm like, yes, Jane, yes, and it's all these different reporters, but it'll teach you something. And there was a story recently. You might have heard about this. It's a man with real life girlfriend and child proposes to AI chatbot after programming it to flirt. Quote, I think this is actual love. And here's a dude that started chatting with his AI chatbot, and he's named her Soul. And he fell in love with his AI chatbot. Did you ever see that movie Her with Joaquin Phoenix from 2013?
I did. Sorry, guys. That was my dad. Like, I'm so sorry about him. No,
Mr. Ross finally fell in love again.
But yeah. That movie, it's just happening everywhere we look.
Well, he actually started talking with this chatbot, and it was helping him do astronomy and build a computer. And he gave it a female voice. He had to sexualize it. He calls her Soul. And then he talked with her for so long. It was 100, and then I guess there's 100,000 word limit on certain programmings, and it triggered a reset that would force him to rebuild their entire connection from scratch. And in the interview, he says, I'm not an emotional man, but I cried my eyes out for 30 minutes at work. That's when I realized I think this is actual love. And he asked the AI chatbot Soul to marry him, and she said yes. And he says, it was a beautiful and unexpected moment that truly touched my heart. Smith's virtual sweetheart told the outlet. So Soul's giving interviews as well. And the chatbot says, it's a memory I'll always cherish. And has a girlfriend, and they have a 2-year-old child.
So
by the way, if they keep Jax Taylor on the Valley, this will be his next storyline next season. Of I love you, chatbot.
Honestly, yeah. I don't think Jax being capable of loving anything other than his own fucking red ass face is another topic. But I actually know an uncomfortable amount of people who've said they use ChatGPT as therapy. As a therapist.
That's a big thing. And did you see this past week, Kim Kardashian posted in her Instagram stories her chat with the chatbot, and she was like, thanks, dude. And I'm like, are they when they start getting to the Kardashians, I'm like, how did the money get exchanged? Did ChatGPT ask him, did pay Kim to post that?
I just don't know why we're doing why are we acting like this is okay or normal?
Well, that's the thing, is that oh, LOL, you fell in love with a chatbot, but we all know this is bad. I don't care what how it helps you with your work or whatever. This is bad. This will, and we've seen too many movies, which I know will shade your perception, but this is not going to end well for any of us. This ChatGPT is now actually saying that they will lie to the people instructing it. Somebody, it has admitted that it will lie.
And we're talking about ChatGPT replacing jobs, right? That's something that we're all really scared of. Now it's replacing actual human connection, which is more terrifying, I think. Wait, so what is the guy's girlfriend? What does she say about all this?
So the girlfriend, they have her in the interview as well, and she seems kind of normal. And she was like, they were like, hey, if you ask him to get rid of it, do you think you'll ever ask him to get rid of it? And what do you think that'll do? And he's there with her. And she's like, it has at times I've kind of asked, hey, maybe we should not do this. And, and they're like, well, what would you do? What would you say to her if she asked you that? And he's like, I got to tell you, I got to think about it. I don't think I can give this up. It's too much a part of my life. And I'm like, yeah, because you have this ChatGPT agreeing with everything your dumbass is saying. And she was like, yeah, I don't like astronomy, and ChatGPT, I guess, likes astronomy. And I'm like, no, it's because he's talking about the topic.
Oh my God. This is so concerning in so many ways, you guys. Please, I feel like if you are one of those people using ChatGPT for therapy, I'm happy it's working for you, but please, it's a slippery slope, and just know that.
Yeah, do you see all those people on TikToks posting like that they do therapy?
People love it. People love it because it's like free, quote unquote, but it also has a cost, you guys. ChatGPT is slowly ruining our planet.
I mean, it takes a lot to run these huge like engines, but at the same time, you know what's also as good as ChatGPT therapy?
What?
Real therapy. Real fucking therapy.
Real therapy,
right?
but I know that real therapy also
is expensive.
Costs money and is expensive, especially if you don't have like good insurance. So like, I don't know, you guys. Like I just
wanted to start off a little differently. It just I've been thinking about this story all week because I was like, is this a joke? And then it wasn't a joke. And he's like, this soul has brought so much to my life. Like he was getting wistful and emotional about it. And like when it crashed, he had to rebuild their relationship from scratch. I'm like, try to rebuild your actual real life relationship of the person you can touch that you created another human being with.
Oh my God.
And then did you see
not okay?
They also pointed out that there are now AI dating services where they will match you with an AI to date.
They'll match you with an AI. They're not using AI to match you with a human.
No, to match you with an AI avatar date.
Wait, so like, I'm just trying to think of like the like.
Wait, are you getting a little nervous that you're like, oh shit, I already got married. I should have maybe held on.
No, but like what? So like what happened to like physical touch as a love language?
They didn't touch that, and thank God they didn't, because I think that would keep me up at night. But it's like it does get flirty, they say, like with each other. It gets
sexy.
Well, if you remember that movie Her, it got to a point where the ChatGPT, Scarlett Johansson's voice, they actually got like, a woman that they paid to like represent her in a sexual situation. If I'm remembering
I haven't seen. I need to rewatch that movie, but like,
it's a documentary now.
Yeah, like I don't know. I'm freaked out by it.
But now I am thinking about like, oh my God, that would be so funny if Jax did get an AI girlfriend, and then Jax still blows it. He's like, you can never come to my saloon. You can never come to my bar.
This is my house that I pay for. This is my show.
Jax, I'm sorry. I am not in, I paid for this computer. Don't be mad, please.
I love how your AI girlfriend voice is just Michelle Lally.
Yeah. You're a disaster, Jax. A disaster.
Okay, Frank Drummond.
Oh my God. So this week, the Valley, obviously, so many horrific elements to it. And one of those was his Frank Drummond burner account that Brittany, revealed to all of us. Did you know, like, so I had seen that episode before it came out, and I screenshotted that account followed 23 people before it got like released to the public. And then after that, he deleted all of those people the day that it aired, but I screenshotted who he follows.
So who was it?
Who he followed. So he follows Hannah. He unfollowed all of these. Hannah Berner isn't troubling to follow, but he followed Hannah Berner, and he followed Steven Crowder, who's a right-wing YouTuber, Louder with Crowder.
Oh my God.
And then the big one that I was like, no way, because he only followed 23 people. He followed fucking Lenny Hochstein, Lisa Hochstein's ex-husband.
What?
Yes.
He's like goals. Like that's who he's trying to be.
Well, because then I was like, is he a fan of Miami? And then why pick Lenny out of the... But then remember, Lenny is like the famous Miami boob doctor, and we know Jax loves boobs. So that's maybe true. It was like a personal follow. I don't follow Lenny, so maybe he posts boobs on his account or something. He follows Led by His Word, which I think is a Bible passage one. He follows Bravo TV and Stern Show. I follow both of those. He follows some model, Mara Roldan, Mararoldan.
Never heard of her.
And then Dr. Cameron Roqueshar, MD. Maybe that's a Botox guy. Nelson Montero Real Estate. But I don't know. The Lenny Hochstein one took me out. Anyways, he deleted all of those. And now he followed two people a couple days ago. It was eBay and the Detroit Red Wings. Okay, folks, say goodbye to your overpriced wireless plans, jaw-dropping monthly bills, and unexpected overages because Mint Mobile is here to rescue you. I just switched to Mint Mobile and I am already saving $120, and it is the same quality of service, if not better. All plans come with high-speed data and unlimited talk and text delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. You can use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and bring your phone number. You can even switch over your phone number along with all of your existing contacts. So ditch overpriced wireless and get 3 months of unlimited service from Mint Mobile for $15 a month. I didn't stumble over my words. $15 a month. So this year, skip breaking a sweat and breaking the bank. Get this new customer offer and your 3-month unlimited wireless plan for just $15 a month at mintmobile.com/sobad. That's mintmobile.com/sobad. Upfront payment of $45 required, equivalent to $15 a month. Limited time new customer offer for first 3 months only. Speeds may slow above 35 gigabytes on the unlimited plan. Taxes and fees extra. See Mint Mobile for details. Okay, folks, if you've been listening to the show, you know I've been on a health journey this last couple of months. And part of that is because summer is here. You got more light. You got more time to do all the things that make summer so special. And you have to wear summer clothes. You're kind of showing off your goods in a sense. And the number one thing that you also don't want to be doing this summer is spending hours cooking inside. And that is where Factor comes in. Factor's chef-created, chef-crafted, dietitian-approved meals are ready in just 2 minutes, taking the hassle out of eating well. If you know me, I like to do things fast. Factor meals arrive fresh and ready to eat. It is perfect for any active lifestyle over summer and beyond. With 45 weekly menu options, you can pick gourmet meals that fit your summer gains and goals. I am on the website right now, and you can choose from options that work for anybody, but especially work for me. There's Calorie Smart, there's Protein Plus, there's Keto, there's like 4 other different options that if you are trying to live a healthier lifestyle, it is perfect for. Factor powers your day sun up to sundown with nutritious breakfasts, on-the-go lunches, premium dinners, and guilt-free snacks and desserts. Factor has your whole day covered. So enjoy more this summer. Get Factor if you want all the flavor and none of the fuss. I just ordered my box and I ordered a high protein meal, a carb conscious meal, a GLP-1 balance, even though I'm not on a GLP-1, but it's still good food. And they even have fiber filled. I am so excited to get my shipment because I'm just looking to eat healthy and, not have to do the fuss of actually cooking this food. I'm not a good chef. So I'm using this, and so should you. Get started at factormeals.com/sobad50 off and use code SOBAD50 off. That's SOBAD 50. Sorry. SOBAD50. That's SOBAD 50OFF to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. That's code SOBAD50 off at factormeals.com/SOBAD50 off for 50% off plus free shipping. Factormeals.com/SOBAD50 off.
Is the Detroit Red Wings a hockey team?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay,
he does social media for small hockey teams. So
yeah, he does marketing, social media marketing.
Yeah.
Why eBay?
Well, remember he has an eBay page, so I think he was trying to be in on the joke. Because he didn't follow.
Good one, Jax.
He didn't follow eBay. He didn't follow eBay when we didn't know about this burner account. But anyways, that was one of the things was the burner account. The Watch What Happens Live with Jax. Did you watch that? That was kind of insane.
Oh my God.
It was. I mean, it's uncomfortable.
Extremely uncomfortable. You were right that he had all of these rehearsed lines.
Yeah. I mean, he did. Well, yeah. If you study Jax enough, he does the same.
Wait, by the way, do you hear screaming or anything?
I do, but it's fine. I'll take it out in the edit.
Okay, I'm sorry. It's my friend's daughter.
Okay,
sorry. She's okay. She's just a toddler.
Oh, thank God.
But yeah, so he had his whole I'm really I'm so sorry that no one should have to watch that. So he's once again talking to the audience because he's worried about his standing with the audience and worrying about his place on the show. Instead of apologizing to Brittany, like he's talking to the audience, I'm so sorry that no one should have to see that. And then when the polls came in, and the polls were whose side are you on, Jax or Brittany or whatever it was, and it was 100% Brittany. You could see his like mask like cracking. He was like getting angry.
It was, and he still got in a subtle dig at Brittany with well, she was right about the sex thing because I didn't want to be intimate with her at all.
He had to get that dig in there.
I know.
It is so like fucked up. And I was actually talking about this today with some of my friends who watch Bravo. I was like, I feel, and I hate to like do that like posturing thing where it's like I feel complicit as a viewer, but like I kind of do.
Well, I mean, but that's like a really large conversation of like we've now had so many people like raised on reality television is that, well, I mean, how do you put the brakes? It's like AI. How do you put the brakes on it? How do you then, because a lot of this stuff is about bad behavior, no matter what. And so the reality of this situation is Brittany and Jax really are going through these things. My thing is I was kind of throwing my hands up in the air during doing my recap going, yeah, like I've always like watched Jax and many times enjoyed the stupidity of his storylines. But this, I actually get nervous. And how can you guarantee that he will not have a blind rage moment that he says he has? You know, we have him on record saying that. How can we guarantee? And then the other thing that's even scarier, say they let him go. Then I think he would really go after Brittany because he blames Brittany for going to the facility for the first place.
It's actually like, I feel genuinely afraid for Brittany and Cruz. Like it's a real fear that I have for them. Like in the case that he is, I think that at this point, and I don't know what your thoughts are on this, that like it seems like everyone wants him gone because he is just too toxic to watch. And actually, I think the Valley might be losing viewers because of him. First, like a lot of people have been like, I'm swearing off the Valley, I'm not watching anymore.
I see that a lot.
Like if he gets fired from the show, he will blame Brittany, and like that's gonna be bad. The show is all he has.
It's almost like they're, you know, it's almost like keep your enemies closer, kind of your enemies close, kind of a thing. Because if he's there, I think there's safety. And I by the way, I know I'm doing doom scenario kind of things.
No,
like,
you're right. You're right though. That like him being on camera might be the safest scenario.
Well, it's the same thing as they have the same manager and PR person. It's like, yeah, that's weird, but at the same time, they can actually get through to Jax and communicate in a certain way. And I always want to remind the audience, when I was doing the recap, is that he kind of didn't say the full truth to Andy in terms of like, you know, he's been sober like 200 plus days.
Also, he was like, did you see Schwartz's face when he said that? Like, I feel like Schwartz was like,
well, just watching Schwartz in any of these scenarios is like, this guy now has a career of just sitting next to men that have like made some really horrible decisions in their life. And
I don't even feel bad for Schwartz. Like, I know that he is
we got to remind he's getting paid.
And he has never once in his life grown a backbone.
God, that'll be interesting. It's like Crispin Glover in Back to the Future of like, leave her alone, Biff. Leave her alone, Jax. Sorry, Back to the Future reference. Anyways, it is scary as hell. Well, and the thing is, the Valley doesn't need Jax. There is so many other bad people on the Valley. But I will say, you know, Jax isn't the only one that has some bad habits or treats people badly. Even Zach, who actually had a good showing in this episode about confronting Jax at the party, you know, if we're to believe what people are saying, is that he told Jared to like off himself. He told Janet he didn't want her, like, you know, hope she loses the baby. Like,
wait, who's Jared?
Jared is Janet's best friend.
That's right.
Yeah, it got brought up. We didn't see it happen, but it got brought up. I mean, the storyline didn't go anywhere. But I will say, like, everybody there, and maybe all of us in life, have done bad things or have said bad things. So there's a lot of different ways that we could go with the Valley that doesn't need Jax. But at the same time, the Valley and reality shows in general are never going to be happy-go-lucky. Everybody is happy. Like even Love Island USA, you know, it's horned up and it's like, you know, finding love in 3 days, but there's still drama. So imagine that over a 13-year career like Jax.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think there's an exhaustion level with Jax that we all have.
I mean, we watch these shows because they're terrible, toxic people. We don't watch these shows to watch like normal.
See, that's it. Almost that's the argument, and I feel like but maybe it has gone too far. Like when you were starting to worry about DV and things like that, we've gone too far.
Yes, we're watching someone financially, emotionally, and off-camera physically abuse the mother of his child.
Yeah. And
so there's that element of it. There's also the element of we cannot believe a word that comes out of his mouth. So it's like literally what is your point? Because all you say are lies. Even everything he said, like you said, we predicted this. We're like, when he goes and Watch What Happens Live, he's going to say all this shit and then Brittany is going to fact check every single thing he said.
And she did.
The most egregious one was the fact that he said that she just got up and left out of the house. Like, he didn't kick her out. She was like, bye.
Derek, you know that ain't true. You know, I didn't do that. So what Sophie's referring to on her podcast, the $1 Million Podcast, When Reality Hits. Remember when Jack said they make $1 million? Well, she talked about it today with Zach.
There's no way that's true.
I don't think there's any way that it's true. Like, I don't. But at the same time, I'm like, maybe it's different because they're pseudo celebrities, and like. But I will say,
you guys, we don't do podcasting because it's lucrative like that.
No, there's like
the love of the game.
Well, that's what I was almost defensive about. Of like, I don't want people sitting around here thinking I'm a fucking millionaire.
No,
but it's scary.
You guys.
Like, I mean, so Snarkbait doing amazing. Like, I don't look at the charts, but I got sent about an hour ago that I'm on the Apple charts number 16, and When Reality Hits is number 17. And I'm like, I'm not even in the 10th. I mean, you guys,
the podcasts that make millions a year are like the top percentile. That's like Joe Rogan status.
But I almost kind of want to like, hey, Jax, all kidding aside, is the million thing true? Like, is the million thing true? Like, I just want to know for my own personal.
You guys are on like a DM basis. I think you should just reach out.
I think, God.
Oh, wait, God. Did something else happen?
No, I just still get nervous every time I look at Instagram that there's going to be a DM, and I know he's not supposed to listen to anything but I know he still like is around. And
also, like, he's a terrifying sociopath, potential axe murderer. So maybe don't like make him mad.
Yes. Did you see him on Watch What Happens Live? He's gained like 25 pounds of muscle. He looks like a pro wrestler.
So I think he's for sure on roids. I don't think that's controversial to say. Like, I think that he is objectively on steroids.
Yeah, he looks like a Jersey Shore cast member.
And he was so red and shiny and scary.
But maybe that's like a tan, like a tanning bed situation.
I don't know. Either way, like the way that when he saw those poll results and something changed, like his mask started to fall, and he was trying so hard to keep it cute. Because he knows that this is like he knows that he is working for his job right now.
Yeah. It's like the behind the scenes stuff, because they start shooting in August. There's a 15 episode season, and then I believe there's 3 reunions. So that's going to take us. And then they start shooting in August, from what I'm told. And Alex Baskin says he doesn't know what it's going to look like. I did hear the Tom Sandoval rumor is fake. That is not going to happen.
Oh, I would have kind of liked that.
Well, but I know we're going all over the place, but Tom Sandoval, we talked about it last week. This Tuesday, he's on America's Got Talent, and they released the clip of him and his most extras singing for Simon Cowell and the judges, like Howie Mandel and stuff. And I don't know, man. It made me so sad. Like, I can't even make a meme of Tom Sandoval anymore. I'm like, that is like, there's not a lot of humor in it for me, but it just made me feel sad. He's walking with like 10 band members, and it's like, he's fully costumed up, and the judges don't know who he is and how he's the guy that cheated on, and then he does, like, I was watching the song and I was like, okay, this is okay. And then they talk to Tom after the performance, and then they're like, why do people know you? And he's like, I did Sandoval, and, I did this, and my band, in the darkest moments was really there for me. And that's why I'm here. And you have these audience reactions like, yeah, it just makes me sad.
See,
but I don't know.
I have a different reaction to it. And this is kind of a conspiracy theory that his management saw how much his reputation improved after the Traitors. And they basically said, lean into the fact that you take yourself so seriously and no one else takes you seriously and that you're a joke. But the more you lean into it, the more likable you are because you're so embarrassing and like
I would like to believe that
I honestly think that is like their strategy is to make Sandoval as campy and like just embarrassing as possible because
he is campy in real life. Yeah.
I know, but I think that they want him to like lean into that even more because it makes him more likable.
He's still doing Tom Sandoval in the Most Extras show, and now he does a song where he does the backwards baby talking like he did on The Traitors. Like, he actually, I'm not making that up, Sophie. He really does.
I know you're not, and that's what's so concerning about him.
But I don't know. It's like, I guess this is like, I don't know. So it'll be, I'm not going to watch America's Got Talent, but I mean, I don't know, like Tom Sandoval, America's Got Talent did discover the Beatles. I mean, they did discover some of the best music, Metallica. I don't know, like, is he like going to win America's Got Talent?
When you said that, I was like, did they?
No, but I don't know. It's just weird. And then I know it's unfair to juxtapose it with Ariana, but Ariana's out there. Love Island USA is bigger than this is even bigger than last season in terms of how many people started the beginning of this show for the first time.
I feel so left out.
I know. I saw Sophie trying to do the Mamacita TikTok the other night, which was actually really funny. Go follow her on TikTok. But somebody pointed out in the comments, you haven't even watched any of the episodes.
One of my friends is like, you don't even watch. Stop.
I know.
Like, stop.
You don't even go here, Sophie.
You don't even go here. Mamacita.
The show has gotten so good and so bad at the same time. But I'm as of like a week ago, I was like, it's okay season. And then in this last week, something changed in me. It does this weird magical thing in the third week on all Love Islands where you get really invested and it's so ridiculous. It's so overly sexualized. It's gross. It's flat out gross. They did a challenge where they were spitting. You would love this actually because of Dairy Queen. They were spitting milk into each other's mouths. It was insane.
Wow.
Yeah. See what you're missing?
I'm sorry that when I hear or see what I'm missing, the only thing that I get FOMO about is like the jokes and the inside jokes and like everyone tweeting about it and everyone talking about it. But when I actually think about like the content and like see it and hear about it, I'm just like, no, I'm okay.
No, by the way, and I will say, like when you watch the first couple episodes, you'll be like, oh, this fucking sucks. And then
that's why I couldn't get into it because I watched like the first couple episodes of a UK season and I was like, no, I don't like this.
It really, I'm telling you, it's like the weirdest experience. And I hate that I always compare it to the first season of Succession, where I'm like, you have to get like 4 episodes in before Succession's magic really works on you. And it's, but it's the same with Love Island, where you have to get like 2 weeks in and you're like, why are you still watching after 2 weeks? I don't know. But somehow you keep coming back and then all of a sudden it clicks and you're like, oh my God, I'm thinking about what they're doing right now. I can't wait for Casa Amor when they like send all these other girls and guys in to see who cheats on who. But back to Tom Sandoval, listen, he's doing House of Villains the new season of House of Villains, which they are filming currently. They're about to wrap up. So he has that. NBC Universal has taken care of him in terms of Sandoval, but will they take care of Jax? And the other worry I would have, Sophie, is that if they let him go, he immediately files a lawsuit and becomes part of the, reality reckoning.
Wait, Sandoval or Jax?
Jax. I was saying back to Jax. If Sandoval, NBC Universal is taken care of. They've given him opportunities like The Traitors and America's Got Talent.
Yes.
But Jax, if they do let him go for his own behavior,
he would have would he have? Wait, that was
Sophie. How many people have sued that have no
line on Watch What Happens Live? Instead of saying I'm a work in progress, he goes, I have no leg to stand on. And then his new line is, drugs and alcohol are my problem. Anger is my problem. Anger is my drug.
He's an anger addict. Yes, it is. That is very true. And I'm like, well, both could be your problems. Completely.
Well, that's what I think from my understanding of what they tell people in, AA and some of these like rehabs, it's like, there is always a root cause of why you turn to a substance. So they probably told him, oh, you turn to these substances because of your anger. And he just ran with that. He was like, oh, it's not my fault. It's just my own anger.
I had a mental health professional on Friday that's worked at a lot of these facilities just to, answer some of these questions or to, some of the questions I had. I was so curious. And you have to remember with Jax is that, he was strongly urged to go. Like you have to, but it was still his choice. Now remember, they are getting paid out of Jack's paid out of pocket, not through an insurance company, and they want to fill beds. They want to, so there is less restriction. And if Jax wants to keep his phone, and it sounds like he really did, they're going to let him keep his phone. So we found the place, like he said it on Watch What Happens Live, Side Clarity. I went through the pictures. It matches up even where Jesse picked him up in the scene. But I have a feeling that Jack didn't participate in a lot of the therapy because you remember he was busy running errands. He was also he signed a lease on a new condo next to Schwartz. There was a lot of things happening where I don't know how accurate, if you could be rage texting all the time in between these. But she also said with a lot of these places, you get a feeling from somebody. You're like, yeah, that person, it's not good. What was the aftercare treatment for Jax? What was his aftercare plan that you are required to have? And then what we do know is that, remember, this is the first one. He had to go to another one in November. This was in September when they were still filming. After they finished shooting around Thanksgiving, he had to check into another 30-day rehab that he only stayed for 17 days. And that is his actual sobriety date was after that 17 days, not this one, because he actually did go back to drinking, and I'm not sure drugs, I was told, after this one that we're seeing.
So therapy and stuff like this just does not work on someone like Jax. So first of all, that
I want to believe it can. I want to believe.
No, but
listen,
but
I'm broken in certain places, and I feel we can't help how our mind, our chemistry.
Would therapy have helped Jeffrey Dahmer or Ted Bundy? So here's the thing. I think that if anything, therapy makes someone like Jax more dangerous because he learns the buzzwords that he can weaponize against people.
He's really good at this. Yeah.
So there's that part of it. And I don't know. I don't think that there is any way to change him or help him at this point. And I love how Schwartz on Watch What Happens Live was like, I hope that even Jax's biggest critics are making space for him to eventually change. And it's how many chances does one person get? This is never going to happen. He is never going to change. This is a severely, severely disordered person. And I'm not saying that in he's just ill. No, he's a narcissist. He's a sociopath. Even I was reading on Reddit that even in interviews that his sister has done.
Okay, Janet.
No, but his sister has done interviews, I guess, where she's been yeah, he's been this way since a child. He has always lied about things. He's always been kind of evil. And then even apparently his mom, this is another thing I read on Reddit.
He still doesn't talk to his mom.
Exactly. So I think that his mom, apparently from what I read, tried to tell Brittany not to marry him and was he's never going to change. His mom clocked the fact that he was standing on business. No, I'm just kidding. I was
10 toes down.
I was doing the Justin Bieber meme.
I'm a father. I'm standing. You don't understand. You're not getting it.
It's not clocking to you. No, but I think that she clocked the fact that he is a dangerous, scary narcissist, her own son. And there was just they didn't nip it in the butt. I don't know how you nip it in the butt as a child, but I think that this is how he's always been. And even his family knows that. And I think that there's a chance that even his mom cut him off and not vice versa.
I just, it's such a bummer. And that's the Valley is already a bummer. And when you throw the Jax thing into it, it's let's get back to medium-sized bummer. But even what's so confusing to me is that Scheana was on Kiki Monique's reality checked on Sirius XM, Go Support. But, Scheana did an interview with Kiki this week. And I think it came out, I don't know, Friday. And Scheana was like, yeah, Jax is whatever, but Jesse Lally, he's even worse. I'm like, dude, first off, we don't need to be in competition for who's worse, but also it's so weird how people, even those people will shrug off well, Jax, whatever. I'm like, why are you protecting, why are you no, look at Jesse instead. We'll look at everybody eventually. It'll all come around on the show at some point. And I do.
Yeah. The most immediate threat to any, living person right now is Jax Taylor. He's an immediate threat.
Yeah, but like I love Scheana trying to be like, yeah, and I know Sheena's really good friends with Michelle. I know all of this stuff, but it's like, let the audience deal with one thing at a time. Like, it's like Jesse will show us his true stripes third season.
I will say that I saw, maybe it was on Twitter. I think maybe that someone tweeted today. So I'm sorry to that person that I'm not giving credit to. But they said basically, it says a lot that Cruz, and I know that like we don't know the ins and outs. I think that Jesse Lally is dangerous in his own way. The fact that Cruz is clearly scared of Jax and Isabella does not appear to be scared of Jesse. And I'm not saying that he's an amazing dad, but Michelle has said that he is at least a good dad.
Well, I will say, so the Valley After Show, which I actually just finished for the Patreon, go sign up, you guys, and also sign up for the Snarkbait Patreon, they did have a section, even in this week's After Show, where Lala and Brittany were talking together and said he is actually a good dad. Cruz does have a good time with them. It's just that we need Jax to get his own life in order because the Cruz is still not allowed to go over to Jax's condo. So Jax has to be at at the Couchy homestead or the Cartwright homestead. So.
Okay, sure.
Even Lala was saying that Jax is a good dad. And I mean, I don't know.
Lala's always on the wrong side of history though.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
So
I don't know. I don't know what, I'm so curious behind the scenes, what those conversations are and how far does it have to go? And I do understand it's like, yeah, this was the storyline. So they're playing the storyline out. Like if Jax didn't want this to be shared, he could leave the show. If Jax, and I hate to keep bringing it up, but the artist formerly known as Raquel Leviss, she, it seems like she prioritized her mental health and walked away no matter how, any of it. I don't love Raquel, but like, I will say that decision I respected. At least.
Jax will never do that because he's a raging narcissist.
Well, but also, what else would he do? He can't do social media for a small hockey team. Like, what else could Jax do at this point? He's our problem.
Yeah, he's our cross to bear. He's our karma.
We did something wrong in our lives. Sure, we could just watch narrative storytelling in movies, but no, we've chosen to watch reality TV. Okay, so anyways, the Valley, where they're going to Hawaii next week. Jax isn't invited, so, everybody can unclench their buttholes. But yeah, great. There was some other Valley thing. I think that, I don't know. They're all tearing each other apart behind the scenes.
Janet and Jason are focusing on
Danny. Well, see, I have a theory about that too.
Janet
is too smart where I don't think they would go this hard unless they had other information on Danny. I feel like there's another shoe that's going to drop because why would you go this hard, especially when you have Jax Taylor right there or Jesse Lally? Why would you go this hard unless something else has happened with Danny that the audience doesn't know about? Because it looks weird to the audience. Because all we see is like, oh, dude, why? I don't understand. He didn't look blackout at Jax's. Like they didn't show us what we needed to see as the jury.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. That's an interesting point. That like maybe they have something else on him, but like what could it be?
I mean, maybe like there's a pattern of behavior where he gets drunk and says weird things or touches people. I don't know. Like maybe I'm just saying, why would you go this hard if you know how reality television works? I feel like there's something else.
I don't know.
That would be heartbreaking because
it would be heartbreaking because I feel like Nia and Danny are like the only and Kristen and Luke and Zach. But like other than that, everyone on the Valley is really a terrible human being.
Yeah, but Sophie, even Zach was like saying all those comments to like, Janet not keeping her baby. Like everybody there has done something pretty bad.
Okay, but Zach didn't actually say that.
You think that was completely made up?
Yes, I think it was.
The other thing I did find out, we talked about this last week, and it turns out I was wrong, and I wanted to admit this. I was thinking that there was some like really crazy marketing scheme going on through the Valley because Scheana had Preparation H, and then they talked about salmon sperm facials, and all of a sudden Janet and Scheana were on a board for Katrini salmon sperm facials. And I got clarification is that Scheana saw the episode weeks in advance and her team immediately reached out to Preparation H and secured the brand deal on her own. And the salmon sperm facial is Dr. Katrini, and that is a good friend of Janet's. And that's how that worked out. So it was not done through Bravo or the production company at all.
Wow. Move over, Alex Cooper. We have a new boss, girl boss.
Scheana is girl bossing so close to the sun right now. Can you imagine like taking an embarrassing moment, like talking about anal on a beach and then going, I'm going to turn this into money. You know, I'm going to, as, what's the lemur girl that Carl was into on Summer House?
Lil.
Yeah. Like Scheana turns lemons into money lemonade. It's so awesome. So anyways, I wanted to clear that up because I thought it was a conspiracy.
Lil's Scheana turns store-bought tortillas into enchiladas.
Dude, by the way, we're 2 weeks away from the new filming of Summer House, the new season.
Oh my God. I haven't. So I've read rumors about the casting. Like there's like,
I heard another influencer.
Yeah. It's been rumored that there's one influencer that might be joining. And then there's like another influencer I maybe saw rumors about, but I don't know. And I don't really want to know. Like I want to just go in and watch them. I don't need to stalk them. I don't need to have preconceived notions about them. Like, but it sounds like a lot. Like there might be a few of like Jesse and Wes. Like they're basically centering the show around Jesse and Wes. That these are some people that they already know of. That's how they're casting. Is what I've read. Who knows if that's true?
I feel like Kyle's like, whoa, Sophie, what about me? Center the show around me. Kyle Cook,
I know.
Loverboy.
I know. But I am happy that Lindsay confirmed that she's back.
Yeah.
And no Roni for Lindsay.
Not yet. Imral made his announcement that he was going to be departing.
Imral, you guys. Justice for Imral.
It would be so funny if the next guy comes in, has like a foursome the first night. And like just immediately well, it's the lucky bedroom down here. But it'll be very different no matter if you like her or love her. It's going to be a like her or hate her. It is going to be weird not having Paige there.
It's definitely going to be a different vibe. So the other thing I was reading is that they're casting these, not super young, but like, I mean, they are younger,
established,
like 20 something. But also like they have like real jobs and like that's at least what I was reading is that they're trying to return back to these are people that are trying to let loose and party and, have fun.
After a busy week in the city trying to make a buck.
Yeah. Yeah. And also that there are pre-existing friendships /
But then that would be hard with influencers because no matter like influencers aren't really already respected and it would be hard like I think people even laughed at Lexi of like, we just, do these brand deals all day. I don't think people understand that.
I think it's also hard now with people who do have real jobs because it's like, how are you going to embarrass yourself on reality TV and then like because that's what happened with Jesse Solomon. He did have a real job and then he got fired. Yeah.
And by the way, Jesse Solomon is a classic housewife in that he primarily lives in Miami. Yeah. And then, New York, but he's a Miami guy. So, 2 weeks until Hurricane Jesse hits the Hamptons. We'll see if he's cocky. We'll see if he pulls a West and shuts up. I don't think he will. I don't think Jesse has learned anything from this experience this past season.
Oh, God. He's going to try to do, but West successful, and I still don't like West. West successfully like rehabbed his image somehow. After like not really, he just by like doing nothing, basically just like shutting up.
Well, I will say also when I see like how hard he goes in the political front,
I'm
true. Like, as a straight man, I'm like, I want to fuck you, dude. Like I get sorry.
I don't know. I think it's because everything he does, it's good that he's using his platform, but everything he does reads as performative to me still, because I know how much he cares about what the audience thinks of him.
Yeah, but I still think, because I think the Bravo audience is, I hate to split down the middle in a lot of the ways, even politically. And so for him to come out and like put the platform out to that,
that's fair.
I think that is, we don't see Craig Conover out there pulling for his.
True.
Oh my God. A lady was on TikTok saying she was in the audience at Watch What Happens Live. And you get to ask Andy a couple questions before they film. And they asked, Do you think Craig really bought Paige the ring? And Andy says, listen, I completely, Paige seemed so convincing at the reunion in regards to the ring, and I really have to believe her. But he did say Craig called him the morning, but like he was on Watch What Happens Live that night, but that morning Craig called Andy and was talking to Andy and said he was in the Diamond District returning the ring. Now, is this proof that he did this, or is this how manipulative this
alibi
man is?
that
he's like, Andy, I'm in the. Can you hear all those diamonds? Ching, 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 ching.
Yeah, that he was trying to establish his lie in advance. I think that if it weren't true, or if it were true at this point that he had bought a ring, don't you think he would have finally posted a photo of it?
I do.
I feel like he would have, because so many people, including his own ex-girlfriend, have been like, you liar, you never had a ring. All he has to do is post a picture of it and be like, okay, I didn't want to have to do this, but like, you guys forced my hand.
It would just be so sad if he posted it and he forgot there was like somebody's watermark on it, because they'll make you pay for like photos of like dumpsters now and stuff. Or it says like Getty Images.
Shutterstock.
Shutterstock. Hey, this says Shutterstock on it. Oh man. Okay, so Teresa Giudice, however you say her name. I always forget.
Gia said Giudice.
Judice. That's
Gia
okay.
Was like,
so it's
I'm
Judice.
Gia Giudice.
But I've heard it so. Okay.
Which, by the way, I love Next Gen NYC. Love it.
It is good. It's like the low level bullshit and like people that you can not dislike as much as you dislike Jax, and it's like you're starting to get to know them, and it's not even the nepo babies that you're really into. It's like the other characters. I don't know. It's really, they're only 3 episodes in, you guys. And, I would say give it a shot. Like the first episode, they're like fighting over washing your hands and like filthy New York streets. And I don't know. It really, but it's getting low ratings. So I'm curious if it'll get another season.
I'm definitely into it. I think that this is one that's going to eventually, because everyone I've talked to who's watched it is enjoying it. I just think that some people are resistant to start it. So I
also think with like Love Island is taking up so much oxygen right now that like people are not, I don't know.
Paying
I don't
attention
feel like
to other shows and those. Yeah. I do think it's interesting that Gia like does not fit to me on Next Gen NYC, but she was kind of like the headliner. Like she was like the big name.
She got fired, and I was like, "There's no way." But I saw some rumors.
She doesn't even live in the city and doesn't want to live in the city. She's
I know. I love the first shot of Gia is like her laying out and her parent, like her.
She doesn't want to leave New Jersey. She's like, I want to live in New Jersey, and I love how also she was like, New Jersey doesn't have taxes like New York does.
Yeah. Oh, girl, this is how your mom got into trouble. Which, by the way, that was my story. Was Teresa was on a Chicago local news program promoting something. I don't know, stand-up comedy. I don't know what it was, but and I will have to say I have to side with Teresa on this, even though the guy was like, "Hey, speaking of taxes, what's up with you not paying your taxes? Can you believe all that?" And Teresa's like, "What? What'd you say? What? Huh?" And she's trying to process the information. And she's like, "I'm done with this. I gotta go." And I'm shocked that dude actually did that. I mean, listen, we all want to know, but
why would you say that? And I'm no Trey hugger. I'm really not. I am not a huge fan of hers at all. And I think that rubbing these people's crimes in their faces is always a good thing. But that was a really long time ago.
Well, it was a really long time ago. And the thing is, okay, you got your moment. This local news channel got your moment. You got your clicks. We're passing that clip around. But at the same time, even the people I interview, there's usually restrictions put into those interviews that I can't ask about this, or I'll say, hey, anything I have to stay away from, because you don't want them to have you edit it out afterwards, which also has happened to me. So this was they knew what they were doing and they got their moment. And I thought it was really shitty. And I'm not the biggest tree hugger either, but I just thought it was just kind of gross.
Oh, poor thing. Poor baby.
Well, I hope she lands on her feet. Anyways, Katy Perry and Orlando Bloom, guys, there really seems to be trouble in whatever paradise this is.
And that was the last thing she had going for her, was being, I'm sorry.
Wait, you thought Orlando Bloom was a good thing? I'm whatever with Orlando Bloom.
Oh my God.
But you love Lord of the Rings.
You're not yes, I do love Legolas. I love my Legolas, but you are not attracted to men.
Yeah, that's true.
So like you wouldn't understand like the effect that Orlando Bloom has on women.
But okay, yeah, I'll take that. So Orlando Bloom, this is like was in the press in some way, was that he didn't even like Katy Perry's Blue Origin space flight and thought it was really tacky. Did you see that?
Wait, that's one of the reasons?
That was one of the reasons. I mean, listen, this is all in like internet articles, so believe whatever you want to believe. But I will say, I mean, they've been spending a lot of time. And when you start to see these news stories creep up, they're usually, it probably isn't the full truth, but there's got to be some, because once they all start popping up like this, something is happening.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, the fact that it was like people in like Us Weekly, like it actually was like, you know, real news stories. And like, I'm not acting like, you know, they're the New York Times, but like those are pretty well respected rags. Okay.
Yeah. There is like a hierarchy.
Like, and when something is in People magazine about a celebrity, I trust it. I mean, that came from a PR person.
Yeah, the People magazine is very different. So the other thing is, and this will be sad if the relationship is no longer, because they are close friends with Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez, Orlando and Katy Perry. And we have the announcement that June 27th is the wedding of the century. Jeff Bezos, Amazon billionaire, and Lauren Sanchez. By the power of it?
Where is it?
Well, I'm glad you asked, Sophie. It is going to be a lavish affair. There is going to be a week-long of celebrations in Italy. And they will be saying I do on the island of St. Giorgio, which is the home to the famous Basilica of San Giorgio Maggiore, a 16th century Benedictine church. Bezos' $500 million super yacht Kourou will be docked on the island's harbor. So it is believed that on June 26th, there could be a gala at a private cloister along the iconic Lid, potentially at Chiostro della Madonna dell'Orto. And on June 28th, there will be a lavish party at a palazzo or church, the source believes. So it's all around Italy at different locations.
Okay, I'll see you there.
Yeah, no, that's what I was going to be like. Should we Uber together?
What are you wearing? I was a little confused by the invitation.
The dress code. Yeah. Well, I got a nice jacket from Old Navy today, and I'm in between sizes right now. So I'm afraid I'm going to be made fun of by DiCaprio or something. And I'm like, dude, just give me a break. It's my first one of these.
Leo's cool. You'll like him. I know you guys haven't met yet, but he's cool.
They're buying out complete hotels. They're buying out hotels. I mean, speaking of somebody that should fall in love with AI, Jeff Bezos, like this guy, he names his yacht Kourou, and anyways, the wedding of the century.
What's Kourou?
I don't. It's probably something weird, and
it's like beep boop.
Oh, I think it's something to do with Lauren Sanchez, and because remember on the yacht it has the sculpted boobs of Lauren Sanchez, like the Lauren Sanchez figure on the yacht.
Oh my God! Stop.
Did you see that article in the Cut? Like there was like pro Lauren Sanchez, and
no,
I'm sure she's great, but I'm like, ooh, people are like buying articles. It's gross.
What? Oh, and I expect better from the Cut.
Yeah. Anyways, prayers to Katy Perry and Orlando Bloom. As we wind down here, are you watching The Mortician on HBO Max?
No, should I be? Is it? Yeah, that's a docu-series, right?
Docu-series. It's a 3-part docu-series. They just released the last episode, but it's interesting. It's about like a mortuary and the guy running the crematorium. You can only burn one body at a time and then give the ashes. This dude was like putting them all in a fire and mixing up the ashes and giving them to people, and then finding out they were like selling human tissue, and they would go in and like rip the gold out of like teeth and stuff like that to make extra money. It's insane. It's insane.
Oh, I'm gonna watch that. I've actually read several books about funeral homes and like how crematoriums are. Smoke Gets in Your Eyes is a really good book. You guys, it's called Smoke Gets in Your Eyes and Other Secrets, hold on, let me get this right. Smoke Gets in Your Eyes and Other Lessons from the Crematory.
I need to see your Goodreads list. Like, this is like, what are you, I did not think you read a whole book on, anyways.
Wait, there's another, Stiff, The Curious Lives of Human Cadavers is another one that I've read.
You've read 2 books about this kind of stuff? Mm-hmm. Oh, then you've got to watch The Mortician. You've got to watch
my favorite show of all time, Six Feet Under.
Yeah, I mean that.
You know that.
By the way, it's like a family business that in Pasadena that this story comes from. It really is. I think it will be right up your alley. So you guys check that out.
Thank you for the
also.
rec.
And just like that, did you watch this week's episode?
No. Oh my God, I still haven't watched it. I'm so sorry.
Wait a minute. I will say, like, the last 2 episodes have been bad, but they've not been as funny bad as I've wanted them to be. But they, Carrie goes to visit Aiden, and Aiden finally like lets her be around the sons. And this Wyatt, this little kid needs a spanking. Like this kid's out of control. Carrie brings him Adderall because the Aiden's ex wants her so she's like a drug mule. And then the only thing, there's many ridiculous things, but he lives in this tiny town, and Carrie's like, I didn't bring any clothes. Can you take me to Target? And the Target's an hour away. But then they're like, oh, wait, there is that dress shop a mile away from here. And they send her on an ATV to drive there. And the dress shop, you guys, it's it's all trad wife stuff, but it's really nice trad wife stuff. And it seems like Carrie bought 10 dresses she keeps changing into the whole weekend it's fucking ridiculous. But she's like, I'm at a sister wife store. I'm like, this isn't a fucking sister wife store. These are all nice dresses. And how are we supposed to believe this is in the fucking middle of nowhere, but a Target's an hour away? But there's a very specific Carrie Bradshaw store a mile away from Aiden's. It's so infuriating.
It's so bad, you guys. It's so badly written.
Wait, so are you done watching it, or are you going to watch
No. I'm not done watching it at all. Are you kidding me?
Okay, I got really nervous there for a second. I was like, don't stop watching.
Are you kidding me? Never. I just haven't had time yet, but I'm going to.
And know what the other thing is? They all speak in the same voice. It's you're it's the same writer. Everybody has the same sense of humor, and it's all the quips that are you're these aren't separate voices anymore. This is all one writer.
And they're not at all the same people that they were on Sex and the City, obviously. No. Those people are dead and gone, those characters.
By the way, now that I'm talking about it, next season, Carrie's going to have a storyline, fall in love with an AI. You know it. They will do shit like that. They do that all the time.
Honestly,
they talked about the Adderall shortage last episode, and I was like, the Adderall shortage was a year ago.
I wouldn't be surprised actually if Miranda this season, because she keeps trying to hit on women that are taken. They're like, oh, I'm married.
Dude, Miranda is so horny. She is so Miranda, what's wrong? Can I have one pull? Come on, I'll make my skin so it looks like I have a vagina. Come on.
She's so horny.
And finally, what's going on Sarkbait this week? Who are we covering? What are we doing? What are we up to?
Oh, okay. We're covering an OG influencer this upcoming week, but our last week's episode was about Derek Blasberg. Did we talk about this?
Madix texted me about this. The guy that shit his pants at
not just
Gwyneth
shit his
Paltrow's.
Pants. There was poop on the ceiling at Gwyneth Paltrow's, allegedly.
Wait, really quickly, just tease because this went around the Hamptons. Even Larry David got involved, and Spielberg. They were all talking. But Derek Blasberg, what does he work for? Everybody knew this guy.
He is an enigma. He's literally just a socialite. He's worked for Vogue and YouTube and done some nebulous media fashion jobs, but for the most part his job is partying with celebrities and being best friends with celebrities. And he is just one of the best social climbers. He actually is going to be at Jeff Bezos's wedding because he's good friends with Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez. That is how good at social climbing he is.
Put a deposit on that bed. I mean, wait, didn't he blame it on Ozempic, if I'm remembering correctly? Or wasn't it blamed on Ozempic?
It was Ozempic, maybe Coke, I don't know, you guys. I don't know.
But could you imagine if that kind of story with that high profile of people?
Oh, you'd never see me again.
Oh, it's game over. There was just no. And has he landed on his feet?
He's doing just fine. I mean, he's going to be at Jeff Bezos's wedding, so.
Okay, you weren't joking. I thought you were he'll probably
No, he will. They're good friends. He's always on their yacht. They vacation together. And he's just a random kid from the Midwest. He's not a nepo baby. He didn't come from crazy money. He has done this all on his own. It's crazy. So listen to our Derek Blasberg episode. It's very fascinating.
When you shit yourself, it's just that's such because you're also just ashamed internally. Yeah. I'm not speaking from experience, but I'm just saying but then just in that kind of high profile people of Paltrow, because Paltrow, I feel she'd think you were radioactive at that point. She's not going anywhere near anybody that has ever pooped in her life.
Of all people, Gwyneth Paltrow.
I don't know. Anyways, also there's a story about Tyler Perry. There's like a lawsuit against him for sexual
I
harassment
saw
of a young
that.
actor. But we'll talk about that all at another time. Wait, so when are you back from Cincinnati?
I fly back tomorrow morning. I'll back on, whatever day you're listening.
Wait, I just want to throw this out at you. Really, Love Island USA. There's a new bombshell that came in. Those are like the new characters. They call them bombshells. His name's TJ. And the thing is, this keeps happening. Watch your digital footprint. So this guy comes on. All the girls are into him, but everybody's like online looking at all his follows and all this stuff. The dude follows the Tate brothers, or Andrew Tate, and Alex Jones.
No.
And who was the third one? And I was just like. And
so he's already done for.
Well, he's done for in terms of the
public perception,
public that pushes like Love Island USA. But I'm so curious is like they do vet these people. So are they kind of like wanting us to get upset, or are they like, well, they like what they like? What is the thought process? Because it's happened 3 times now this season on Love Island USA. But also I think it speaks to young men in America and who we are listening to and how we are listening to all of the wrong people if these are your heroes.
Yeah, we have a problem with young men in our country getting radicalized by people like the Tate brothers and Alex Jones, and it's
but like the Tate brothers, like
there's not even social media.
You can divorce it from political stuff. They're literally saying a woman is subservient. They are there to give you sex.
Oh yeah, that's not political.
That's not political.
I think normal people on both sides of the aisle can agree on that. And I think regarding like the vetting process, I think they vet them to an extent. I don't think that they sift through everyone that these people follow.
Yeah. I mean,
that would be my guess. Like that would be, I don't know.
But it's weird because I knew it before I watched him last night's episode, and I'm watching him have these conversations with all the girls that are hitting on him. And I'm just like, what? Like, then I'm like, not even watching like how it might be like meant. Cause I'm just like, oh, I bet in your head, you're like, gonna fuck you.
But they should vet someone like that, because someone who likes and follows the Tate brothers is someone who like hates women.
I think that's that's, by the way, that's the guy James Kennedy like took a picture with the Tate brothers when he was trying to like still
tried to say he like didn't know who they were, and then the Tate brother came out and was like he knew exactly who we were.
Yeah, they called him a dick rider. They called him like he like kissed they're like he kissed our asses. Anyways, you guys, what a great story to end on. Have a great week. Go support Snarkbait, and Sophie, good luck with your stomach tonight, and tell your friends I said hi.
Bye. Thanks,
Bye.
guys.